by this committee. I'll give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes is good enough.
Honorable Chair and members, good evening. My name is Mary Yaine Seneta. I am a seasoned professional with over 28 years of experience in public administration and management, legislative oversight, education, community development, and advocacy. I hold a Bachelor's of Education Arts and a postgraduate diploma in Human Resource Management, both from the University of Nairobi. My career, Chair, started in the education sector as a teacher, as a classroom teacher, later as a deputy head teacher, and as a head teacher in several institutions. Chair, I was also privileged to have served in both houses of parliament from 2013 to 2022, where I also served in different committees, education being one of them, energy, where I served as a vice chair in the Senate, delegated legislation committee in the National Assembly, health committee, where I happened also to serve as a member and a vice chair, regional integration in the National Assembly, and others. Chair, I also served as the chair for KEOSA, that is Kenya Women Senators Association, when I was in the Senate, and also a treasurer for Caucus 47, which is the Women Representatives Caucus, where I championed the Affirmative Action Fund regulations, which gave birth to the Affirmative Action Fund that is currently supporting women, vulnerable groups in all the 47 counties through the Office of the Women Representatives. Currently, Chair and members, I am serving as a director in the Parliamentarian Circle, where I'm also serving as a chair for Staff Training Committee, where I've championed for automation of human resource systems. If today you want to get the information of any staff of the circle, you just click on the button of a computer and you get the information. I've also, together with my other colleagues in the circle, the management, championed for digitization of products for our members, where we now have a product called Empacoso, where you can get your product at the comfort of your constituency. Chair, I've also attained many other skills from different institutions, like gender, HIV, AIDS, a course that has really assisted me in the field when I am interacting with the women and other vulnerable groups. I've also attained a course in strategic management from different institutions. Chair, I am also a family person, a mother of 3, and I appreciate the importance of a family unit and community service. Chair, from all those roles I've played in this republic, in the public service, and the skills I've also gained, they've strengthened my knowledge in governance, which I know will be of great importance to the position I am seeking for approval before you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that elaborate introduction. I'll want to open the floor to the members to field questions. But before I do so, I just want to seek for some information from yourself. In terms of, it's being said you're a bit temperamental. Your temper is a bit hot. You remember when you served in the Senate, you had a scuffle with your colleague, and there's a time you had to be expelled from your party, you remember? And here you're asking to work with commissioners, 9 of them, which is giving an indication that you might again snap. What could you want to say about that? Are you seeing a possibility of working with those commissioners by bringing different synergies so that you're able to deliver on this very serious assignment? And even when you discuss and engage with the public, because of the emotions, because we are dealing with a very emotive thing called land, how can we trust that you'll not go up and cause havoc?
Chair, I appreciate and acknowledge that happened when I was in the Senate during my duties. As you are aware, some other times the roles of a member of parliament and a politician calls for a lot of debate, and during our work such kind of a hot debate happened where we had to differ with a colleague, but I apologize. I wrote an apology to the Speaker of the Senate, and the matter was resolved. Having seen in my CV, I've worked in several organizations, including a non-governmental organization, and I've interacted with a big number of people and stakeholders, including when I was a member of parliament for the women representative for Kajiado and the Senate. I've interacted with so many people, and that has tested my ability to work with the people. Over time, I've now grown, and I think I can work well with the commissioners.
In your community, do you have women morans? What do you?
It's just a culture, but women are not referred as morans. Neither do we undergo the rights which morans undergo.
Okay, so open up, Honorable Gitari.
Thank you, Chair. And Chair, I want to go to Standing Order 91. I declare my interest in this matter. As much as I don't want to divulge a lot of information, Chair, even when I was elected, I continued with my practice as a licensed surveyor. And when the nominee name was floated, some clients of mine I worked for a while back approached me saying that they have issue with the nominee about a job I did for them. I'm trying to make effort to meet with the senator, to the nominee, and it became a bit futile. And what I was looking for, Chair, I thought as a former colleague and a person I served with in 11th Parliament, it was not very good for my clients to bring the memorandum about whatever they had with Senator. I made efforts. I was unable to meet with the nominee. So I don't want to divulge a lot of information about that because it is not, they did not bring the memorandum, but I stopped them from bringing the memorandum. I told them, this is a person we can talk with because it's a former colleague, because I never wanted a lot of exposure. In line with that, Chair, my question, so that we can be on the same page, and if you allow me, after the answer, I can have another, just one question, then I rest my case. Whether the nominee can tell us the process of RAD allocation before the 2010 Constitution, what used to happen there before, and what happens today, the process, until you get a title deed. And from there, Chair, because of the issue, I believe the nominee knows the issue. I don't want us to wash our dirty linens in public. From there, I can just ask one question, and I rest my case, Chair.
Okay, yeah, it's allowed. The process before this constitution that we have, how did we do it? And then maybe after this, then it'll come in with the last question.
First, I want to apologize to Honorable Gitare. He's a member of parliament I know, a colleague. When he seek for me to meet with him, I had an engagement somewhere. I tried my best to come and meet with him, which I explained later to him, and I believe that he will still bring forward his case to me, and I will listen to him. When the question he has asked about the process of allocation of land before the 2010 Constitution and the process today, I want to begin with the process after the Constitution of 2010. Chair, land in Kenya is owned by the people of Kenya, according to Article 60 of the Constitution. And the Constitution has also guided the allocation according to the category of land. According to Article 62, if the allocation is on public land, because he has not categorized it, if it is public land, the county government, which is holding in trust this land for the community, or if it is public land that is under the national government or the county government, when it's identified to be allocated to either group, the county gives a list of beneficiaries, identify the need for the land, and write to the National Land Commission, which the National Land Commission writes publish a notice of intent of allocating the land. Then the due process is followed. According to the Lands Act of 2012, there is a whole process of allocating and converting the land. If the process is done fairly, transparently, according to the principles of land policy, then fair compensation should be done. That is my, my presentation to that question. Before the new constitution of 2010, we had a lot of issues, and that is why today we have historical land injustices, because this land, community land, mostly were held in trust by the county councils then, and they could just give without much guidance. I rest my case.
Thank you. Any other question?
Chair, I was to do.
Okay. Oh yeah, there is a second one to follow up. Yes. Sorry for that.
I don't want to go to the nitty-gritties of the process of allocation of RAD, but the only concern I have is that if approved, the nominee will be one of the commissioners and knows the processes that happens like that. Without diverging a lot of information, I just wanted to know whether, because the nominee is clearly aware of what I'm talking about, whether it is something that will be able to resolve or it is not resolvable. And I am not using, because even the owners have titles, whether it is resolvable or it's
so not. Now that we are not very sure about that, and just a moment.
I just wanted to mention.
No, I've not given you a chance to.
Oh, I thought you mentioned.
Lele Bengit. So I think it's an issue which we can handle maybe after this, so that we can share the details, and then we see how it will be sorted out. Because the minute she steps in, if she's going to get that approval, then I think it will be very important for her to play by the laws that are there. Are you giving that commitment?
Chair, I've read the national values and principles of, I've read the values and principles of a public servant. I will uphold the Constitution and the law. I listen to the case of Mheshimiwa, Honorable Gitare, and
we don't want to start the case. Let's hope it will be sorted out.
yes,
It will be very, 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 very unfair to ambush and even discuss that issue in this committee, since it's not properly before us. But I'm saying after this, then we can share that information between myself and Gitari, and maybe we'll see the best way to handle it.
I'll
Okay.
be more than
Any other
willing.
question? Honorable Dr. Ochanda.
Thank you, Chair. I also want to declare that at least we start with the nominee in what term in Parliament. I don't know which term, but my question are simple. One is that the nominee has worked with the communities for a while, particularly on issues to do with education, resources, and stuff like that. And beyond that, also helping the communities to reach out to donor support and stuff. And one of those that you worked with was Dupoto. Yeah, Dupoto. Are you able to tell this committee in terms of the amount of information you have about the Dipoto land and the Irish goal, the donor that supported that group? And then another one is the frequency in terms of now that, particularly when you are in Kajiado, what's happening that the frequency of this land disputes community, whether they were community registered communities or registered groups, what has happened that all of a sudden there are too many disputes after 2010?
So did you mean the Irish of Mitumba or the Irish of Dipoto? Because there's only one Irish who did the Mitumba, and then Dipoto is a different.
Yes. From the CV, I'm doing this from the CV. So I'm not very specific in time. I'm just asking whether that Irish goal was part of the many other donor agencies that they worked with when she was working with Dipoto.
So you...
Chair, I worked for Dipoto Ema, which is in Kajiado. I can't remember such a sponsor. And also Dipoto Ema doesn't own land. They only have offices in Kajiado. Possibly that's a different Dipoto. Okay, for the many disputes in Kajiado, Chair, just like in many other parts of the country, before the new constitution of 2010, land was just being given out by communities who are not aware of the processes. Like many of them were asked for land for projects, which later did not pick up or collapsed. And after that, their land was not compensated or not given back to the community. We have so many community lands, and mostly these are pieces of land which belongs to the community, and by then they were not registered. Also in group ranches, our ancestors or our parents used to preserve some community land for future projects, which at some point some people get to take them, and the process were not followed. So that is what has happened in Kajiado.
On Myren and then Engineer Zambia, finish with Dr. Rachel.
Okay. Again, Irene, MP Bahati, as a commissioner, most of the time, you'll make decisions that are popular, of course with powerful interests, including with politicians. Now, when you come to NLC, how are you going to separate those alliances, loyalties, and pressure? How will you ensure as a commissioner you can set aside those political relationships, especially considering that you have been a member of you have been in parliament before?
Thank you, Honorable Irene. I will uphold the Constitution, especially on Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity, Article 75 on conflict of interest, and I will also abide by the law. I know commissions are constitutional offices and independent offices, and therefore I will serve according to the law. I will serve everyone impartially without being biased to any part of the country or any side of the political divide.
Honorable Engineer Zambia.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Senator, I call her my good neighbor. We border my constituency and this county. Honorable Senator, we have some challenges when it comes to registration of land in this country. And you find that a certain parcel of land has 2-3 different titles. Now, assuming that we appoint you in this docket, what measures would you propose to address double allocation and the frontline titles? Number 2, and that is an interest before this committee. Honorable Chair, if you remember, there is this Kibiko land. Kibiko, if you remember very well, there are around 2,000 acres, and we listened to the Ma community before our committee, and there has been a lot of challenges. If you listen to both sides, it's like there's a group which purely owns that piece of land, and there's another group which looks like they have frauded the land for the Ma community. So, Honorable Senator, as you sit here, if we get the appointment to be in NLC, what measures will you take to make sure that land justice is pushed so that the right owners of that land can start benefiting? Because we understand there is a group which already has titles for the same when we have the mother title. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Rachel Nyamai.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to confirm that I know the nominee. We have served together in this parliament, and I know her family, but that will not in any way make me conflicted. I would like to ask the Honorable Senator one thing or two things that you'll say, this one I must get it done if I am successful. Number 2 is the Ma community has a lot of interest in land. I know that as you sit there, you know that they'll all come to you as their person with the Dupoto Darfur, with Mitumba, with Lulua, with the Kibiko, and they'll expect you to rule in their favor. Do you assure this committee that you'll do the right thing, no matter the pressure that comes from the community? And also whether you'll be fair to them, because being from that community does not also, prevent you from doing the right thing. And the last one, because women candidates are really bombarded with a lot of things, especially about you didn't behave very well because you are emotional, because people like to say that about women. But as you sit there, I would like you to assure this committee that that particular incident that happened because of a situation that happened, a political situation that you are in, can you assure this committee that this will never repeat itself, that we will never have a situation where commissioners are fighting and one of them is caught in a situation of violence? You assure us that because this committee and the other committee of the 12th Parliament has interacted with National Land Commission officers, commissioners, who almost exchanged blows because of an issue. Can you assure us that this will never be from you, and that is it a situation that you found yourself in that will never repeat itself?
So Mary, you can respond to those, and I think we'll close. You want to also weigh in? Honorable Joses, the last one.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Just so that to clear the air, on many other speculations and issues, Chair, I would like to ask the nominee, Honorable Seneta, have you ever, in your capacity or in your using your own agents, chased away legit owners of land with titles around Commitee SGR station?
That's very specific, and I just want to give you this chance to respond to those. Then the Vice Chair, if she has anything, she has nothing, please do respond.
Thank you, Chair. On Honorable Engineer Zambia, who is my neighbor, question. The first one on double allocation. I think this calls for digitization of national land processes, not only on national land processes, but on land processes that are being dealt with by the Ministry of Lands. Chair, as you know, the Lands Act and the Lands Registration Act of 2016 has given a mandate to the ministry also on the processes of registration, surveying, and mapping. So I think automation, whether these processes are being handled by the National Land Commission or the ministry, is the only way that can cure these irregularities in allocations and also duplications of documents and also proper documentations. In terms of Kibiko land, which is also in Kajiado, just like many other issues in many other counties in this republic, it's an issue, a case that I know it's active before court, and it is one of the cases that I will look forward to hear and get to understand, just like many other cases pending before the commission from other parts of this country. On Honorable, my good friend Rachel Nyamai, whom we worked very closely with in the National Assembly, on issues to do with priority areas. One of the biggest issues surrounding this country in terms of land allocation are irregularities in terms of allocation, double allocations, and therefore I will prioritize digitization. Digitization of land records, digitization of compensation processes, so that we can achieve a transparent, fair, and a sustainable process of land allocation. Another priority area that I will advocate is working closely with other land sector stakeholders. The Ministry of Lands, other stakeholders are also big players. I will advocate for a close collaboration, coordination, and cooperation with them, as it is a constitutional matter, according to Article 189 of the Constitution. I will also advocate for alternative land dispute resolutions, mediation, arbitration, another traditional community dispute resolutions agreeable to communities according to the Constitution. Many of these cases goes to court and last for a long time without being resolved. And if they were agreed upon in the communities, they could have been resolved amicably. In terms of the interest, Honorable Rachel indicated that many MA groups and individuals will be coming to me because of the many historical cases that they are facing. I will, Chair, uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, and also follow the due process of any kind of allocation that was done. And also, I will serve them without being partisan. The last question by Honorable Rachel is on the issue that happened in the Senate and whether it will happen again in the Commission. Chair, I've indicated that over time I've grown in terms of resilience, in terms of how to deal with different actors. Chair, I will also appreciate everyone's role. I know the Secretariat will be having their own roles in terms of implementing the Commissioner's policies, and the Commissioners will also be doing policy, and therefore I will respect everyone's role. I will also learn from my other commissioners, colleagues, if approved by this House, and therefore I think I will have grown more in terms of experience and also the profession. Thank you.
There was a question by Lele Mengit of people who had titles, but they came and you chased them away. What was the committee or something? You remember there was
Sorry, Chair, Honorable Jose. I'm aware that there was a trespass on a family land. This is not my land. It's a family land. And there was a trespass. And I'm told, because I have not been given the case, I'm told that there was some confrontation between the buyers of the said land and my other family members. There was some misunderstanding. That doesn't allow them to fight. But I apologize on their behalf and assure you that in such a particular case, I will look at it with the other commissioners and possibly agree on how to be handled.
But this is your family. I think it's You were not involved in it because of being a commissioner. I think the issue, the way I understood it, is that you took it upon yourself to chase away these people. You, who is before this committee. Joseph, is that the position?
Yes, Chair. But
It's, yeah.
but as she explains, maybe it needs an intervention of the all commissioners.
So just explore and get to know the facts so that we don't ambush you, and you make sure that the problem is sorted out. Because you know it's a measure of your behavior, your conduct, your temperament, and that's why we are putting all these questions. Because it will be very unfortunate to see Mary Seneta with a rungu or a spear chasing people who have titles. That is the enormity and the magnitude of that question which is coming from the Honorable Joseph. So we'll give you time so that you can get facts around it, and then maybe in the course of tomorrow, before the end of the day, we see whether we can get in touch with you because it's a serious issue. And we are seeing these incidences. There are now 3. So that as a colleague, we can then advise you because it borders on so many things. We're looking at your certificates. There is this certificate of July 1995 from Kericho Teachers College. It bears the name of Muterian Iaine, which is a different name from that appearing on the ID card. Maybe it's something that you need to explain to us as a committee. Then I'll ask you questions. You can take them to her so that she can. Okay. So have you ever been convicted or charged in a court of law in Kenya? You say yes or no. Have you ever been convicted, taken to court, charged?
Chair, no.
Do you hold a dual citizenship?
No.
What is your financial net worth?
Chair, my financial net worth is approximately 820 million.
820 million.
Yes.
So I think with that, I just need an explanation of these certificates. You give them to her so that she can maybe distinguish.
Chair, I can easily explain without looking at it.
Please
when I went to the Teachers College, Kericho Teachers College, I was not yet married then. So I was married after attaining the certificate. Now I changed my documents to my husband's name, which is Seneta, according to the ID. On the issue of Mheshimiwa, I still feel that I will need to see the information concerning the parcel of land. It's a family land, but it's not my land. But I will be more than ready to look at the information and advise.
Chair,
Yeah.
some quick summarized breakdown of the net worth.
800, yeah? You try to break it down. If you are not able to do it now, you can still do it and then hand it over to us so that we know the composition of the 800. Yes?
I can do it now, Chair.
It's there? Okay. I think we can refer to the files. So I think with that, Honorable nominee, we've come to the end of this session, and I want to say and confirm that you are the last nominee to appear before us, and We've richly benefited from your presentation. We are so happy for the robust engagement you've had with the members, your former colleagues, some of them. And we are so happy that you came back to Parliament. I just want to give you a minute because I understand it's going to Ramadan. I think they want to open. So that we, okay, just only 1 minute. Your last remarks, and then you'll take leave.
Chair, thank you so much for giving me a chance to appear before you and present myself. I want to first appreciate this committee. I know there is recently an amendment through this committee that you did to the National Land Commission Act, which opens the window for historical land injustices to be heard. I know it's a milestone. It's what many communities are looking for. And I want to give my confirmation that I will work closely with the Houses of Parliament. National Land Commission needs very close consultation with your house, with your committee mostly, because of reforms, policy reforms, and I want to assure you of much more close engagements with you, if approved. Thank you.
I want to say on behalf of all these members, we wish you the very best, and we look forward to working with you the way you have stated, assuming that the main house, the entire Parliament approves you.